But
Back
anyway,
on Nick D.
back on Nick
D's
D. But he, I've been checking it out, and so the one of the biggest reasons, like I was saying, that I'm so attracted to what this guy has done in the music industry. Yeah, look at me like that. I said attracted about the dude named D. Yeah, I know, KP. Don't worry, I'm not coming to your side, bro. But so anyway, yeah, exactly. Dude, you can't even swallow your drink right now, can you, without joking? That's why he's not saying it, y'all. He just took a drink. He had to get it down.
I know. That's why I had to make sure I hit the joke in the drum joke in the laugh.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
the timing.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? Harkos here with the Music Making Sense podcast, and with me, as always, is the one, the only, the dapper Dan Mohawk man, the man who puts the word rock in Detroit Rock City, KP. How the hell you doing today, KP? Kiss stud bracelets on.
Gotta have.
What they are.
Oh yeah, that's loud as hell. Good and loud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the long one.
Let it rock on. Yeah, that's the 36-minute one.
Jesus
36
Christ.
seconds, not minutes.
There we go.
All right. Simmer down, Clara. Simmer down.
There we go. How the hell you doing today, KP, man?
I'm good, man. You know who we're powered by.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Gotta
are.
make sure.
I mean, they're not paying our bills, but they allow us to use their platform since we pay them.
So then we can start. Yes.
We're technically not powered by them. We power them, but it's all good. We'll keep it moving.
Yeah,
but it's a service. But I like the service. I like it really, really well. It's a lot better than the Zoom was. And I've actually used it. I've actually used Riverside. I started using Riverside for my one-on-one coaching calls and stuff like that with artists and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And and so I mean it's kind of a pain in the ass because it makes them download the Riverside app. But other than that, I mean, I got the video and audio crystal clear and everything like that. I don't have any issues. Zoom, it always has some issues. You know how that is. We're always having issues with it lagging and shit. I've never had that issue with this. So, but yeah, so today I messaged KP earlier and I was like, yo, man, we got some ideas for the podcast. And he said that you wanted to talk about the UMG situation. For those of y'all who don't know.
Versus TikTok.
Yeah, UMG. There we go. UMG versus TikTok. And should smaller indie artists pull their music off Spotify and other streaming platforms? Those were the top two things that you wanted to talk about here today. So for those of y'all who don't know, the whole UMG versus TikTok thing. So basically UMG, Universal Music Group, they have roughly about 30% of the artists in the industry signed under them. So across all genres, 30% of the music industry is owned by them, essentially, right? And so they had a contract negotiation dispute with TikTok where they were coming up for a renewal on their agreement on how much TikTok would pay them per whatever unit of metric in order to have their music be available to be played on their platform. So all the social media platforms, they have to pay a certain amount of royalty per stream or view or whatever the metric is, depending on the platform, to the artist, right? And if you're an artist signed underneath a major label, it goes to that label and then comes to you, blah blah blah, everything like that. Well, I guess the contract between UMG and TikTok either came up or it was in dispute in some way, shape, or form. And TikTok wasn't wanting to budge. They're like, no, we're going to continue paying you the same amount. And UMG was like, no, we want you to pay more. And so they said no. So then finally UMG just pulled all of their artists off of TikTok in one day, right? Just like all of a sudden it's like boom.
Bing Bingo.
Boom,
See ya.
done.
We're
It's like, okay,
off.
done. Bye. You're gone, right? Which is really interesting because whenever I was looking at that, I was looking at a few other things and looking into it, and I'm like, okay, so UMG wanted more money per unit than what TikTok was wanting to give them, and UMG was like, oh, well, we own the music, TikTok, you won't survive without us, we're gonna pull it off. And so they pulled it, and TikTok goes, okay,
Big
fuck
deal.
off then.
Fuck.
Right? Exactly. And
that was
because-
wild, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Because well, I see the thing is that the music industry, they've always had such a high ego because they felt like they've ruled everything,
Yeah.
and they have run a lot of things. But the thing is that TikTok operates on a different level. I'm not saying they're a good company or a bad company, but I'm just saying they do what the fuck they want for many different reasons. I mean, there's conspiratorial reasons and there's upfront reasons, right? But we're not gonna get into that. But they do what they want. They know their power in the world, right?
Yeah.
TikTok is without a doubt one of it's the top. It's the top platform, not just for short form content, but also for
music.
musicians, right? Because not only are musicians able to put their music out there and creative content and stuff like that, but all these other creators that create all kinds of different videos, they can use that music behind it, whether it's a dance video or whether it's an anime little edit video, like my kids like to do and stuff like that. My kids like to take different cuts out of different anime movies and cartoons and episodes and shit like that, and they edit it in specific ways to specific music and stuff like that. It's a trend that a lot of teenagers do and stuff like that. Well, when you use that music and stuff like that, it gets into the algorithm and everything like that, gets views and streams and everything like that. TikTok pays a percentage of their ad revenue and stuff like that to the owners of that music, right? But what it also does is the more that song is used, the more it gets in somebody's head, just like how radio used to play the same 8 songs every hour, right? But it does for real shit though, That's real talk. That's what they did. But that's how they got it. That's how radio would get people's music stuck in your head. You hear it all day, every day on the radio, and you're like, you either completely hate that song or you like the song, but either way, you kept listening to it. Well, TikTok creators are kind of causing that on a massive level now because, if you flip through and you keep hearing that song, eventually you're going to go like it and you're going to want to go look for it. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to Spotify or whatever. And TikTok, sometime last year, I can't remember when it was, they actually formed a partnership with Spotify. All right, y'all. I just want to take a quick break right here to tell you about something hot and spicy. And no, I'm not talking about that Latina thing that you saw on Tinder the other day. I'm talking about hot sauce. And not just any hot sauce, but Tennessee Hot Sauce Co. All right? I personally know the owner of Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, and I've seen him grow this company from just something that he would sell a few bottles at the local farmer's market to something that can ship all across the United States now, all right? And you guys have a unique opportunity right now to save 20% by using the code MMCPOD when you check out on any order over at Tennessee Hot Sauce Company's website. All right, that's tnhotsauceco.com. Make sure y'all go check them out and use the code MMCPOD over at checkout and save 20%. You guys got to check this out. All right, they have all kinds of great flavors. My personal favorite is Poblano Jalapeno. It has a mild kick to it because I'm a little bit of a bitch when it comes to spices, but it has great flavor. I put it on all kinds of stuff. I put it on steaks. I put it on burgers when I'm cooking them. I put it on tacos and enchiladas, stuff like that as well too. But I've tried many of these other flavors like the garlic habanero and the honey habanero, the blood orange ghost, and the pineapple habanero. Now, the pineapple habanero was one that really snuck up on me because it had a great sweet flavor of the pineapple, and it wasn't nothing overbearing, but it had a very good flavor to it. And then all of a sudden, boom! I got hit in the ass with the habanero, and I had to go grab some milk, all right? But these are some great flavors, and they have all kinds of different options. They have the collection, which has the full lineup of all 6 of their most popular sauces. They also have different subscription boxes. You have a 3-sauce option, a 4-sauce option, yearly and bi-yearly options available as well too for the boxes. Then you also have all kinds of other new flavors that they have that I've never tried yet. I actually got to get that shipment in here soon, of the barrel aged whiskey and the mustard dill scorpion. Those are 2 that look very, very interesting, and I want to try them out. One thing I did try is one of their new options that they have here, which is the poblano jalapeno beef jerky. But like I said, I love the poblano jalapeno sauce, and whenever I tried this jerky, no bullshit, I ate the whole bag before I can even sit down and shoot this promo right here, all right? And so luckily, I know the owner, like I said, so I got another bag on the way, but y'all gotta go check it out. And he also told me they got some more flavors coming out of the jerky as soon as they get operations up and running on that brand new venture right there, all right? So again, make sure y'all go over tnhotsauceco.com, use promo code MMCPOD at checkout, and save 20% on your order. And on top of that, orders $50 and over are free shipping in the United States. So again, make sure you go check this out. Small batch, small brand, but powerful flavors. Tennessee Hot Sauce Company. Now, let's get back to the show. Where it's a one click, like when you create a video on TikTok and you add in the audio, that audio, there's a little circle down in the corner where when you're watching the video, you can click on that circle and it'll take you to that artist Spotify, and it'll actually like put it in it'll connect it into your Spotify, something like that. It's one of those 2, but it's got a direct connection to Spotify, which is dope. Right. So it's growing artists. Like, you're giving artists the attention, and then that attention is converting over. Just like how we talked about in the last episode, that's exactly what Nick D did. Nick D used TikTok to put his music out in creative content, and it translated his billions of views on his TikTok page and billion of followers and everything like that, transferred over into him getting, 3 to 4 million streams a day on Spotify alone, let alone everywhere else. So it's proven right there. Nick D in 2019 had his own photography and videography company and just started taking music seriously. And by using mainly TikTok, he used all the other ones too, but he said most of it came from TikTok. He grew his Spotify from 0 to 3 to 4 million streams a day on Spotify. Yeah. Like, you can't tell me that TikTok's not the biggest one. So TikTok knows this. And so when UMG is like, hey, we're going to pull 30% of the music in the whole industry off, and TikTok's like, okay, fuck it, whatever.
They're like, whatever. I don't give a flying fuck.
No, they don't give it. Yeah,
because they know they're gonna get the viewership. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's just crazy how TikTok just took over the game to where UMG's like, we're just gonna pull our music off, and they're like,
yeah, they're like, okay, whatever, yeah, exactly,
nice,
yeah, exactly.
See y'all when y'all feel like we'll negotiate something when you guys feel like your ego is done trying to feed off your bullshit, and you can't take care of your artists because they're not really getting the listens because they're not on TikTok.
Right. Well, see, that's one of the things though too, is that I looked into it a little bit more. Well, so I created a video on our social media for Music Making Sense podcast right after I was doing a little bit of research on it today, after KP says he wanted to check it out, and I was looking into it. So then I created a video and I was like, hey, look, blah, blah, blah. I said some stuff. Well, then I was looking into it a little bit more before we shot this episode here tonight. And TikTok, so UMG only gets about 1% of their revenue every year from TikTok. So only 1% of their revenue is coming from TikTok. And they're like, hey, we're going to need to up that to 2%, please. Or we're going to pull our whole catalog. Which is really, it baffles my mind, because it's like, hold on, TikTok's only 1% of your revenue. direct revenue from TikTok, right? But what they don't seem to understand is that yes, they're getting money from TikTok, but what they're getting more to their benefit from TikTok than the direct money is the artist exposure, and then that transferring over to streaming and sales and concert tickets and merch and all that shit that's then going over there. And so it's very, very interesting. But the video that I made today, I was like, look, artists, this means that there are a lot of creators that now have 30% less music available to use in their fucking content. So what you should start doing as an independent artist is you should start reaching out to the smaller creators and then the medium and then the larger creators, right? Start reaching out to all these creators and say, hey, look, I know what UMG just did. It sucks. I'm an artist. You can use any of my music you want to, 100% as much as you want to. If you get any copyright claims from my distributor or anything like that, let me know and I will have it removed immediately. You can use my shit as much as you want to, free of charge. Just use my shit in place of all these other people. Since they don't want to do business with you anymore, I'll do business with you, right? Because that is what happened. UMG just created a fucking opportunity in the market for independent
artists. It just opened up a big ass door.
Exactly. They're like,
they really did.
They're like, hey, indie artists, 70% of y'all who, well, not just indie artists, but also the other music labels as well too, incorporates 70% of the rest of the market. UMG just said, hey, 70% of the market, you guys go ahead and have the world's biggest platform for music. We're going to go over here, which is really, really interesting too, because UMG has ownership in Spotify. So they're shooting themselves in the foot time over time for what? You know what I'm saying?
Wish
exactly.
We had a gun. Wish we had that fucking effect. I'm probably gonna have to upload that on here.
The gun sound effect? Yeah, well, there's that too. But no, they did shoot themselves in the foot. Like big time. Because like, for one, they just helped improve the successibility, if that's a word, of their competition.
You're right. No, you're so right.
They just said all the artists not signed to us, congratulations, we'll let you have more market share. Like we own 30% of the fucking music industry under one company, which is more than any other fucking company combined. Like, you know, any other company has independently, right? They have the largest share. And they say, you know what? We're good with what we got. We're going to take a little bit less now. Because now they're not getting that 1% of their revenue from TikTok. Now they're not getting however many percent they get from Spotify and all the other streaming platforms. They're going to see a downward dip in all of their streams over the next multiple months if they don't fucking renegotiate with TikTok and get back on. They're going to start seeing a dip in all their revenue. Everything is going to see a dip. So unless they did it because their overhead is too big and they want to cut some fucking staff, so they need to show losses, or maybe it's one of those inside, this is my conspiratorial mind, right? Maybe it's one of those inside jobs where they're like, hey, look, I want to place some shorts. All right, KP, since you don't work for Universal Music Group, I got an idea. Why don't you take some of this money over here that I just gave you last year in 2023, right? I just gave you like, you know, a couple mil, right? You take this, you put some shorts in against UMG for first quarter, okay? Just go ahead and put those in, have them expire by the end of the first quarter, okay? And you'll be like, okay, well, yeah, whatever, no problem. And then I'm over here, I'm like, okay, how about this? I go to my board meeting at UMG and I say, you know what? We need to get off of TikTok. They're hurting our bottom line. Well, then all of a sudden, UMG stock just starts fucking tanking in first quarter. At the end of first quarter, guess who just made a fuck ton of money for shorting UMG before the market got wind of all this? KP, aka me and KP, insider trading, pump and dump schemes as well too. Because now we just made all this money. So guess what we can do off of the short? We can buy a bunch of UMG stock, and then I can go back to the board and say, hey, look, you know what? Let's go ahead and renegotiate with TikTok and get back on TikTok. We get back on TikTok and it goes back up. Second quarter, we just made a fuck ton more money. That that might be what they're doing as well. You never know. That's a theory on that one, but it's not it's not beyond the realm of possibility, because companies do that shit all the time.
All the time.
all the time. That's like pretty much how America runs. I just, but no, I just,
ain't that America?
yeah, exactly. There's that.
Fucking
as
John Cougar, John Cougar Mellencamp, baby.
well. Exactly.
Ain't that America for you and me?
Yeah.
Ain't that America, home of the free? Yeah, with pink houses for you and me.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
Sing it, KP.
Yeah.
He's working on his vocals because, as you guys saw in the last episode, at the beginning of part 1, he was saying how he was sewing his drum set because somebody put their nutsack on his drum set. No, I'm just kidding. That's off of Step Brothers. That's off of Step Brothers. But,
Pretty much.
but,
Pretty much.
But yeah, no, you
But
know,
it was
so
it was a wake up call, man. It was a hell of a wake up call.
yeah.
though.
But hey, you know what? Now you can warm that voice up a little bit more, and you'd be good to go, man.
yeah, man. I was actually sitting here. If you see, well, let me see. All right. Hold on, dude. Oh shit. Oh, I had it in the mirror. I had it, but anyway, my PA system's right.
Oh, there you go.
No,
Yeah,
it's right here.
that drum set's gone, dude. I don't see shit over there anymore.
No, drum set's right here. It's in the corner.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Well,
drum
I don't-
set right there. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't see that there. Well, it used to be on like over there in front of the windows. And
Oh,
now
yeah, it
you
was
just got
in-
your
yep, it
PA
was
system
all-
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. I just put the PA system and I got a stage. I'm gonna actually take a picture for it, and you guys will get a chance to see it. So I'm gonna actually do that after we're done.
Yeah, there you go.
After we're done. So, but then you guys can check it out and see how I got it set up now. But anyway, yeah. But as you were saying, dude, that's just like, it's crazy, man, how they just decided to take their music down and just kind of transition into that, because I think it's just so crazy as we're speaking on that relative into this here topic, right? It was because I was just thinking about it. So what I'm saying is that what I'm asking is, now that we see that major game changer that just happened with TikTok and UMG. And also, I mean, just when you think about it, I would say Snoop Dogg and Curtis King taking down their music on Spotify, and a couple other artists has done so as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel that has opened up that's opened up a door too for artists. So, especially for small independent artists who are unsigned or, getting their name out there. My question is this: should small independent artists start removing their music from DPSs? Because that's also a discussion that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. So as I said last episode, I've been reevaluating my thoughts on streaming and stuff like that. And like I said last episode, I know some of it has to do with the fact that I'm seeing what Nick D has been doing and others like him, not just him, but others like him, because there's his boy Connor, there's people like Kyle Beats and Kato on the Track and a lot of other people, stuff like that too, right? What they've been doing is they've been using these social media platforms to run up the streams, and then using that stream money, like we always talk about, to reinvest in other avenues, whether it's a podcast or Nick D. Nick D has 1 or 2 different podcasts. So he's on the independent podcast, plus he's got the Freddie for Artists podcast, plus he's got the regular Freddie podcast, which that one's just a bullshit one, right?
Yeah.
So he's got those. So now he's raised his profile on all of those. So those get more viewers and everything from the true fans of him. He's also got his private little network of about 12 to 15,000 fans that have the ability to pay per month to be a part of this network. And he gives them exclusive shit, including they get to vote on what will be his next release. He'll have like 4 songs up and let people listen to it and say, which one do you think I should release next? So they have that participation. So he's got that revenue stream. Plus, like I said, he's been doing a lot of stuff to help out with the artists, with the Freddie for Artists page and the independent podcast. But what he's also got is he just put out 1 book. He's getting ready to put out another one. And then he's also got like a small little mini course as well too. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And Kato the producer, that's another one as well too. Him and Kyle Beats, they're producers, right? But what they've done is they use social media, put out engaging content, grew their profile, started a podcast as well too at the same time. And the podcast talks about music industry shit as well as producing stuff and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
But now they are mentors for up and coming artists and stuff like that. So they're opening the revenue up with coaching and consultation and stuff like that in order to fucking pay it back, basically, essentially, because they took courses to learn how to get to where they're at, blah, blah, blah.
Adrian Milano, he's a Brandman Network, fellow Brandman Network member. And this man was able to get out there. And I mean, to me, I think he's made history being one of the first Asian R&B artists to really blow up on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we did it, like people don't reckon. If you guys don't know, you check out Adrian Milano. Yo, this man is a genius, bruh. And he's a hell of a singer. He's a hell of a singer too, y'all. He can sing his ass off. But I mean, the way the man was able to utilize Spotify, dude, yo, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's done. So I'm gonna give my man his flowers because he's my dude. You know, and we know him personally, and it just, but you guys really, man, you guys check out Adrian Milano. This man is just seriously brilliant when it comes to how he utilized Spotify, and he's been able to blow up. I mean, significantly. Another one, Cinnamon Babe. If you guys ever check out Cinnamon Babe, she's another one who's really taken off on Spotify. So I don't know. My opinion on it is that I feel like, you know, just a chop for me personally, again, it's a promotional tool. And here's the thing, guys. Music will always have one thing that will always make us listen. Popularity. And when it's surrounded on a product with that popularity. Now, I have to say this. The only thing I would say Spotify needs to do is get itself attached to a device.
You mean like a specific phone or like a what do you mean?
Phone, like how Apple is. Apple's got,
I think what you're talking about is how a few episodes back, I think it's been like close to 10 episodes back, but we were going through that one video where we were going over and discussing how like Apple has all their other things besides just streaming. Spotify is the only thing with just streaming only, and that's why they're branching into podcasts. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. They do need. They do need to branch out more. Yeah, they do need to branch out more. Yeah, I get what you're saying on that.
But what I'm saying, just to end of what I was saying, the advantage that you have is that it's a promotional and marketing tool that's popular. People go on Spotify regardless. All you artists can take your music off all you want, but they're still going to go to Spotify.
And if you're not there, then you don't have a chance to get heard.
Yeah, and then there's Apple Music still. Apple Music is starting to pick up. But still, it's just it's a marketing tool that's going to get your music out there. So honestly, if I mean, me personally, as a small independent artist, no, I'm not going to take my music off of I'm not going to take my music off of DPSs. I'm sorry, not right now. I don't feel that I don't have the fan base nor the clout to do so.
Right. Well, I
need to showcase my talent.
Yeah, there's that. I think see what I think is very, very interesting about this whole thing is that, you know, I don't know. I see it as a greed play. When these artists And I got Snoop right here on my fucking wall and right there.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck, he was on the Chronic and Chronic doesn't. I got fucking half my wall Snoop probably. But Snoop, all these other people who are taking their music off DSPs, they're sitting there saying, oh, well, you know, I got all these millions or billions of streams and I only got paid hardly anything. And it's like, okay, but like people listening to your music increase the popularity of your brand, increase the popularity of you. Like you just said, KP, music is a popularity thing. It's pop culture. So you can't be in pop culture if you're not participating in pop culture. You know what I'm saying?
Boom.
It would be just like if Snoop back in you know the early days with Dog, you know, with fuck is it? Doggy Style. I almost said
Doggy
dog.
Style, yeah, Doggy Style.
When he came out with Doggy Style, if he would have been like, yo, MTV's not giving me my proper due, I'm not having any of my music out on MTV anymore. It's like, motherfucker, you made it on MTV. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
See what I'm saying? Like, so, like,
Thank you.
I understand he didn't make it on Spotify. And so now he's sitting here looking, he's like, well, I used to get way more on record sales. Yeah, but record sales don't fucking exist anymore, Snoop. You had to give out your new record at Raising Cane's when they purchased Meals last time you put out a fucking album, like a couple years ago.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, like you had to do a partnership with Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers in order to push your last album. So
Yeah,
don't tell
dude.
me that I used to make more on album sales. You had to sell chicken fingers to get album sales this last time. Motherfucker. And like I said, half my wall. No disrespect to the man, but disrespect all intended to the fucking idea that he's pushing right there with that. Like, especially,
yeah, I really,
and especially,
yeah, I'm not down with that either.
No,
bro.
and
I
especially
was
the
totally
fact
thinking about
that all these independent artists look up to the artists who are on the top. And so when artists on the top make a specific move, a lot of people will follow that move, you know? And so, like, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that when Snoop made that, they go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, if Snoop's getting off, then fuck it, I'm getting off too. And then they got off,
Yeah.
right? But I'm sitting here who a few episodes back, not many, like what, 5-6 episodes back, I was still saying fuck Spotify, fuck streaming, don't do streaming, do direct to consumer. I still say do direct consumer. But I've changed my tune about fuck streaming because I have seen what another successful artist, Nick D, has done. And yes, I'm on Nick D's D here the last couple episodes, right? but that's because I'm seeing what this man's doing. And you like that one, KP?
That was a good one. That was a good one, dude.
But for real, like I have been talking
No,
up
no,
Nick
no,
D
you gotta
like
get,
crazy.
You gotta get this one, dude. You gotta get this one, too. Gotta get that one.
All right, there's that one
Gotta
too.
get it.
But I have been talking a lot. I'm talking up Nick D like crazy the past couple weeks, right? And I get
Right.
that. But it's multifaceted. For one, the thing that attracted me to this guy the most was the fact that he lives the lifestyle.
He's white. No, I'm just-
What attracted me the most is that he's a white man out here making these moves in music, and he's on the top of the charts. Which is no, I'm not going to finish that sentence. I was going to get extra KKK, but but no, it is because he's white, and all power to them. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, it's because you go, after me and KP had a conversation last night that was heavily race related, and so that was a good.
I'm not tripping about that part.
Right.
What I was doing is because you always get me about Adam Calhoun, you fucker. So that's why I had to.
Yo, and for those of y'all who didn't see it, go check out. There's I cut and edit. So episode 26. I was fucking with KP hardcore about Adam Calhoun. I'll get back to the thing about Nick D here in a second. I was fucking with KP really hard about Adam Calhoun. And I got him saying a bunch of crazy shit or whatever, and I told him, I was like, yo, I'm going to edit the fuck out of it, because he was saying how much Phil Anselmo, the former lead singer of Pantera, was a big influence on him and stuff like that. And I told him I was going to take that portion and make it sound like he was praising Adam Calhoun as being an influence. And so,
and he did,
dude, I did so much. I even got it sounding like you said that you put Adam Calhoun above Michael Jackson. Dude, I was dying when I made that motherfucking part.
Dude, I was like, this son of a bitch.
So awesome
video.
But anyway,
this
if y'all
want black people, we need to get our own media, damn it, because of motherfuckers like him. Son of a bitch.
Exactly. But anyway, so y'all can go check it out. It's available on all the streaming platforms. The title of it is called A Special Tribute to One of the Most Influential Artists of All Time. and so at the beginning of it, it's the edited version, and then halfway through it, I go to the actual version.
He just goes to the version.
Yeah, and then cool. I explain it and stuff like that. But it's totally pretty funny, especially if you listen to episode 26, and you know how much KP doesn't like Adam Calhoun, and then you go listen to that, you're like, oh my god, it's hilarious. And
because he did a great editing job.
It was pretty good editing. I was crying when I got to that part. It said, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. But
it's the way you said it too. That shit was just his influence, Adam Calhoun, and just like into there. You just put it right. I was like, this motherfucker.
Dude, it was hilarious. So anyway, hey, y'all need to go check that out. But anyway,
check it out.
But anyway,
back on Nick D. Back on Nick D's D.
But he, I've been checking it out, and so the one of the biggest reasons, like I was saying, that I'm so attracted to what this guy has done in the music industry. Yeah, look at me like that. I said attracted about the dude named D. Yeah, I know, KP. Don't worry, I'm not coming to your side, bro. But so anyway, yeah, exactly. Dude, you can't even swallow your drink right now, can you, without joking? That's why he's not saying anything, y'all. He just took a drink. He had to get it down.
I know. That's why I had to make sure I hit the joke in the drum joke in the laugh.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
the timing.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous. Okay, it's called HorribleDesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy, outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out HorribleDesigns.com. At HorribleDesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out HorribleDesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, are you staring at my ass, with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, are you staring at my beaver, with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, HorribleDesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show. But he is living the lifestyle that I want. He lives in the middle of nowhere. He has a small farm, and he just makes music and does what he wants. And like, that's what I want. I want property, like a sizable property in the middle of nowhere. And he doesn't do any tours, no live shows, no none of that shit. He just makes music, promotes it online, and then takes care of his farm, hangs out with his family, does whatever he wants. And so, like, when I found that out, that really incentivized me to check out what exactly he's doing. And then I looked at what he's doing, and he's not running stream teams. He's not on here trying to do any of this fucking Spotify playlisting shit or whatever. He specifically says he does not wait the 3 to 4 weeks for editorial playlists to check out his shit and possibly add him to editorial playlists. He says, I don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
He's like, because there are, what's the one number, KP? 100,000 songs added to Spotify every day. He's like, there's no way they can go through all the shit and put everything into an editorial playlist or cancel it. He's like, there's no way. So I'm not even going to try. Why waste my time? I'm just going to put the music out now. And then now, and then now, and then now. Right? And so, like, this dude has a dope business sense. What he does is he just creates entertaining content, and then that increases his popularity, and then people go stream his music, and then that gets him money off of his music. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do.
He's doing it his way, man.
Exactly.
He's doing it his way, and I love that. I totally respect that about him as well. Like, he's
dude,
like,
I love
it.
It
just shows you that I mean, no matter. It's like, here's the thing. Like, the one thing that you point out that I really admire is the fact that he decided like how he wants his life to be. Lifestyle. Exactly. He wants, you know what I'm saying? Like how he envisioned his home and how he envisioned the way he was going to live, what he was going to be doing. And I so admire that. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like we've been spoon-fed that sense of MTV Cribs and things like that. And shout out to Redman for being the one who and even what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now, but he was one of the hosts that was like, he was a rocker dude. It's not Jesse, not Matt Penfield. It was another one. He was a tattooed white guy. I can't think of his name, but anyway, he showed his apartment, and I mean, there were some that showed, some like, down to earth lifestyles, right? But I think that, but Nick D, I think when Adam Ivy did the interview with him, shout out to Adam for that one.
Yeah, y'all need to check that one out. That's a dope one too.
Yeah, and I feel like he just was able to just showcase the fact that he was just able to just envision his lifestyle, what he wanted, and he was and be able to create music in the way that he does now. And it's just like, yeah, man. I mean, that's
I mean,
I would much respect to him for
that. He started out with his own photography and videography company. So he likes creating content and doing stuff like that. And then he also likes music. And so he put those two together, and he does what he loves. He loves doing that stuff. He loves having his farm. He loves being in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't want to be away from his family. He likes being next to his family all the time. He goes here and there places and stuff like that, But like in general, he lives the life that he wants. He doesn't live the life that's mandated to him by being a musician, because a lot of times because that was one of the things that had me pulling back as an artist, because I was like, look, yeah, I like making music, but I don't want to go on tours. I don't give a fuck about these damn live shows. Like, I don't want to do none of that. I just want to create the music and live my life and do what I want. I want to go out in my garden and go on walks and go kayaking and shit like that, and then come back and make music and enjoy it and have fun. I don't want it to feel like a fucking chore that's taking me all across the country, all across the world, and away from my family, and staying in hotels and tour buses and, fucking drugged up, slutty ass fucking groupies and shit like that. I don't give a fuck about none of that,
And
you know?
and for me, and that's and even crazy. This crazy you say that, because for me now it's like I look at like being able to do live streams
Mm, oh, yeah,
and
you can do
just
that
like
too.
being able to like right and but at the same time like being able to do them in an undisclosed location, or
Mhm,
or just be able to create a place where you can get out there and perform
mhm,
and go live stream. You know what I mean? Like I like the fascination. I like the idea of that. Like, and I'm just, as we're talking, I'm just thinking about that.
mhm,
You know, within my content creation, because I see myself being more of that, just that live performer. And I will
mhm,
always love that, but I am starting to become very anti-bar, anti-club. Like I'm starting, and I'm really noticing that. And at first it was one of those things where I was a little bit afraid to take a stand, but you know, being around you and also listening to other artists who are utilizing the internet in the way that they're doing it, I'm just
mhm.
like, yeah, man. Like, and just even after, the whole pandemic, like you just opening up live streaming, but me being able to see that, and I'm just like, that's something that I
Mhm.
really do enjoy. And it's like, and there's some really super successful, there's some mad successful people who've been really taking live streaming to where they're scaling into a pinnacle of where they're like just blowing up
Mhm.
musically,
Well, and
and
yeah, and that's one of the things too is that you said even through the pandemic, blah blah blah. Like before that shit happened in like
mhm,
2019 and stuff, I was talking about like look, like live shows are fucking dying. You know, I was saying that
yeah,
I was like, look at the technology, blah blah blah, and this was pre 2020, so this is before Zoom and a lot of the live stream was really good. It was kind of shitty back then, blah blah blah. Nobody was doing anything but that like that. But I was telling people, you know, I don't think I ever said anything like on camera. I was usually talking to like other people, that other artists that I know, mainly one of the artists that I talked to a lot about music, especially back, you know, a few years back. We talked a lot about shit. Um, but you know, I was telling him like because he was one of those, oh, you gotta be known locally before you can get known globally. You gotta fucking work the, you know, he was the old school shit, right? You know, and that was stuff that was still the reality back 2019, 2018, and stuff like that. The internet, I was sitting here looking at it. I'm like, look, this is a world of endless possibilities. Technology allows us to do things that we couldn't have fucking imagined before. Like, I can entertain somebody in a whole nother fucking country, like what you were talking about on the last episode, where the
mhm.
Safeway workers that you know right around the corner from you or whatever, they have their own little fucking channel and they're reaching people in Uganda. And these motherfuckers have never left the United States,
On
but they're
TikTok.
yeah, but they're on TikTok and they're reaching people in Uganda. And it's like you can do that. And I was seeing that back then. And I'm telling these people, I'm like, yo, fuck live shows, blah, 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 everything like that. And then the pandemic happened and everything. And I'm like, so I used that to my advantage. I was like, see, look, it can be taken away from you at any time. You need to build online. And some people started building online. But as soon as everything opened back up again, what happened after everything opened up? Everybody started packing live shows because it was something that was restricted and then now is available again, right? So it was the,
Mhm.
you know, you want what you can't have. Well, now that they were able to have it again. Now they went out and rushed, and so live shows were at all-time high. And I'm telling people, I'm like, look, no, it's still dying. And they're like, no, it's not. It's an all-time high. I'm like, no, you're not focusing. As soon as this high wears off, it's going to crash again. And you look right now, it's crashing again. 2024 right now, 2023, 2024, it started fucking going back down again, right? And you know, that's one thing is that like, you know, like I said, I've never wanted to do that. That's what had me pulling away from making my music and trying to pursue that in a financial way for myself as a form of income. And I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah. I'll just do it for fun and I'll do it to enjoy it. I'll hop on with, you know, collabs with other people and stuff like that. And, you know, that'll help me build working relationships with them with my marketing, blah, 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 stuff like that. But I'll just do it to have fun, man. Get out here, spit some flows and fucking enjoy myself. Right. maybe, you know, edit some video because I like the creativity portion of that, because I like doing that. I like creating music. I like creating video for it, everything like that. I like the creative process. But I'm like, yo, like, I'm not going to have it be a job that I don't like. I don't want to do all this stuff that the industry says that I have to do. Well, then whenever I found Nick D doing exactly what I would do if I was him, I'm like, fuck, okay, teach me, Mr. Sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, let's see what you're doing, right? And what he's doing is he's creating entertaining content, raising his popularity, and that's driving people organically to his music. That's the best form of conversion from stranger to fan that you could ever fucking think of. Is that you entertain people genuinely. You get out there and you perform your song for them, right? And they like it. And so therefore they go and they start streaming your music. And then they go further down the fan journey to where they're actually handing you over straight dollars from their bank account to yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it can happen, and it can happen so fucking quick. I mean, I'm just, dude, as you're just sitting here talking, man, I'm just like, in my head, I'm getting excited about it, because I'm like,
dude, I've been on such an excitement rush for the last week and a half since I first started his fucking videos. So, because I saw his video with I can't remember. I started watching I saw one video, and so then I started checking out a couple other ones. And at first, I'm like, you know, I don't know what to think about this Nick D guy, because he's like slouched over, just mumbling and shit like that. I'm like, this dude on heroin? What the fuck? Like, you know, and then, but then I kept listening. I'm like, no. He's just one of those like super chill guys who just kind of mumbles when he talks, which I can resonate with that, because if I don't pay attention, I mumble the fuck out of my words. But like, no, he's just a chill dude, and he's got a hell of a business sense. Like, I'm sitting there listening to him with the Adam Ivy one, him with the independent podcast that we broke down last week, him with some of his other ones and everything like that, where he's breaking down different things, and people are interviewing him, asking him how he did stuff and everything. And I'm just like, yo, that's that. And so I've been on a rush, you know, and you know, last episode, I said how I decided to create the TikTok music video course, which I'm working on still right now. So like last week when we created the episode, it was on Monday. And I said on that episode, I'm like, look, I'm creating this. I'm going to start shooting music videos on my cell phone, and I'm going to start editing them on my cell phone with CapCut, which is a free program. And I'm going to start putting them out in short form clips, everything like that. It's all going to be made for TikTok, up and down, everything like that. I'm going to start putting this shit out, and I'm going to show how just putting out entertaining content without asking stream now, out now, nothing like that. You just put out the content. People go find it however they want to. I'm going to show y'all how that will help you grow as an artist, not just on the social media platforms, but have that transfer over to the streams, right? And so I did that. Monday, after me and you got done filming, KP, I grabbed my kid, which I didn't have to drag him. He wanted to come because he's creative like that too. But me and him went out for 2 hours.
Shout out to the creative kids in the world, man.
Yeah,
we love
man.
you.
Hell yeah. And if you're a creative person and your kid has a creative outlet, you know, a creative spark in them, let them pursue that however they see fit, you know, within reason.
Support them.
You know what I'm saying?
Support them.
But support them.
Support
let them have that ability to flex. If they're into one thing and then they change and they go into something else, don't make them stick with that first thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about teaching your kids to complete what they start. But when it comes to finding their interests, you're gonna flip through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be into one thing, especially as a teenager, you're going to be into one thing, and then you're going to find something else, and you're like, oh, fuck this, I'm on that now. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this, I'm on that now. Especially in today's age where they got endless possibilities of options for entertainment and interest and everything like that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
that's so true.
I grabbed him. We went out for 2 hours, technically 2.5 because we took a half-hour lunch break. But we went out for 2 hours, and we went to 6 different places. And in each one of those places, I did a one-time through of a different track, right? And I think one time I did like 2 takes at one place, but I just went through one take, boom, one shot, one kill. And we went through and we did that, and then I came back home and I started editing and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was also filming for the course and saying, hey, look, this is what we're doing, like the behind the scenes shit and everything, document the process so that I could show everybody. And that's what I did, on top of the fact that so that was Monday. So on top of the fact, on what was that, like Thursday, I
Right.
made the post about how I'm doing free hooks for producers. And then I added it on because the next day I woke up with like 5 messages on that post, and it said, hey, I had some artists on there say, hey, what about artists, man? Can I get you on a hook for an artist? And so I'm like, okay, cool. And so I made another post for artists. I said, hey, artists, let me go ahead and do a fucking hook for you and stuff like that. And then I had like over 20. You know what I'm saying? So I had like over 20 beats in my fucking email within 48 hours after saying, hey, I'll do fucking hooks for people. And a couple of those turned into actual hooks and verses. You know what I'm saying? And so now I am doing like 2 different things at once. All right. So not only am I creating the course for TikTok music videos, which is basically the fundamental portion of a larger course that I want to offer to help artists who want to work on their own. They don't necessarily want to work one-on-one with me and meet with me and everything like that, but what they want to do is they want to do it on their own. They just get the knowledge from me. And so I'm like, all right, cool, let me go ahead and make this course for y'all who want to do that. And so this free portion is going to be me showing y'all how, look, you can create music videos on your phone. You don't need to have all elaborate shit. It just needs to be entertaining and visual with your music on it and in decent quality and stuff like that. You can put it out and it'll give you a steady stream of content to start out with. And then you build from there and everything like that. But what I'm also doing is I'm documenting this whole process with me doing these features and these hooks and showing people, look, because there's a lot of artists out there who will always be trying to charge other artists for features when they themselves don't even have a fucking fan base at all. So they're trying to monetize their music by charging other artists. They're not getting any money off their fan base, so they're trying to make money somewhere else. And so I'm trying to show them, like, look, you doing all these features will increase your presence online on the social media as well as on the streaming platforms. Because if somebody hears your stuff on somebody else's thing, you're going to get suggested and more suggested, and you're going to keep growing from there. And that kind of stuff is what artists need to do to grow their fan base. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I keep trying to tell every one of y'all artists. All right. Yeah. So I mean, that's like most of it. So that's why I've been so high on Nick, just like what you said, me talking about it's got you amped up. Well, listening to him talk about it has me amped up so much that, like I said, I created like 2 different courses and stuff like that. Plus I also started getting back into doing music again and stuff like that, with the hooks and everything like that. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless with this kind of stuff, with the internet. Like I've always said, every time somebody says to me, yo, you gotta be known locally before you can get known globally. And I'm like, look, the internet has over 3.5 billion with a B people on it. There's no city on the planet that has anywhere near that much of availability for you to reach people. It's just impossible, so why not use the resources we have? Yes, I know it's the double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? Because they're spying on us. They're manipulating us. They're fucking data harvesting and profiting off of us by selling our information, blah, 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 everything like that. Okay, cool. But guess what? They're going to do that regardless. Unless you plan on taking your cell phone and disconnecting it and throwing it in the trash and never having a cell phone ever again, then you're going to be tracked and traced everywhere you fucking go. Unfortunately, I don't like it either. Okay, I hate it. But guess what? That's the price to pay in the society right now. If you don't want to play in that society, there's plenty of countries around the world that don't have internet, that don't have cell phone service, that live
but you can also get like
lifestyle,
VPN.
basically.
You can get those things like to protect
Maybe,
yourself and stuff. And then it works, but
yeah, but I mean, me personally, like when I see things like okay, so whenever I see things like VPN or even crypto, blockchain and stuff like that, when I see that stuff come out and people are pushing it as a way to stay out of the system's eyes, I can't help but think about the fact
are funding
that
them.
the government and a lot of these big corporations, they're technologically more advanced than us down here commercial. Like private is more advanced by commercial by at least 20 years. So like, like even Apple, for instance, they just released the iPhone 15 or whatever the fuck you just got. Well, they're already finishing up iPhone 17 in the factory. You know what I'm saying? And they probably have iPhone 25. They probably have the stuff that you wear on your watch and it has a hologram and stuff. They're still working on that. You know what I'm saying? They do stuff like that. Like the government has, like, okay, for instance, the SR-71 Blackbird was a plane that the United States military had during the Cold War. Okay. And it was a stealth, long range, mainly reconnaissance, because they didn't have any guns on it, but it was a reconnaissance vehicle that could go at super high altitude. So it was out of radar from the Russians and everything like that. Right. Well, for decades, from the end of World War II until about I think it was like the 70s, the United States government denied that they had a plane, anything like that. And there was reports about it, pictures of it, all kinds of stuff. And the United States government was like, no, that's not us and everything. So it spurred a lot of UFO type of lore, right? Well, then the United States government ended up saying, yeah, we've had it for a while. Same thing with the B-2 stealth bomber and the B-117 Nighthawk, I think it is. That was used. Both of those were used heavily in Desert Fox, which was the bombing campaign that we did in the late 90s, right before in Iraq in the late 90s. And also when we went into Iraq in 2003, we were using those a lot too. But those were planes in the late 90s that the United States government said that we don't have that kind of stealth tech. Well, then they announced it finally, and they're like, oh yeah, we've had it for like 20 years in development, right? All right, y'all, Harkos here. I just wanted to take a quick little break from the episode to let every single one of you artists know about a great opportunity for you to grow your online presence through blogs and social media for 30 days for only $10. If you've already been checking out the podcast, you know I've already talked about this a little bit here and there, but I created 10 blog websites that all have their own social media presence on Twitter and Facebook, and they are growing leaps and bounds, getting tens of thousands of impressions and eyeballs every single month. And that's just not in total, that's every single account. I have a full video breakdown available for this on every platform where you're listening to this right here, right now. The episode is called How Much Marketing Can $10 Get You? All right, I go through a full explanation of it, but if you've already watched that and you want to find out more, go ahead and go to musicmakingsensepod.com, send me a message in chat, and I will get right back to you, and we will get this rocking and rolling and get you growing on social media, especially if you want to grow that presence on Twitter or X. This will definitely help you out. Like I said, I got 10 blog websites with 10 different Twitter accounts that have tens of thousands of impressions every single month. You can be right there with them, getting all those eyeballs and growing your presence online. So make sure you hit me up right now, musicmakingsensepod.com. Hit the chat button and send me a message, and we will get you on point with this great new promotion. All right, let's get back to the episode. So it's well known that the government has all this stuff. The government created the internet in the fucking 60s. All right. And they were using it for defensive purposes. And it didn't come out commercial until the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. KP, you know, you're old as fuck.
No, I figured you was going to come at that.
Caught him off guard with that one. But no, like it took a good 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I see these VPNs and these blockchain and they're like, oh, they can't be tracked and traced. I'm like, look, they were created by a human. So that means they can be manipulated by a human. And you can't tell me that the fact that Facebook, for instance, since 2008 has had a fucking AI algorithm that analyzes your content, flags it for inappropriate shit,
the FCC
or promotes it for good content. They've had that since the 2000s. And then just now we're getting Chat GPT and AI and everything. It's like, no, they have stuff way above it. Like they like we've talked about on here too. You no longer have to put hashtags in your shit. because if you put hashtags in your content on social media, they devalue you because they see that as you trying to guide your content to a certain place. They want you to just create the content, and then their algorithm will put it in the right place because it analyzes the whole video, audio and video. It analyzes everything and then pushes it in the right spot. So that's why you just got to go with moods now. So if you see us on our platforms now, on Music Making Sense Podcast, I stopped putting hashtags in anything. And so now when you go to our content, you just see, like especially our short form content, it shows whatever we're talking about. The title is something mood related. That's it. So I get what you're saying. Oh, you can do VPN stuff like that. I think the government is seeing all that shit. I think what they're doing is they're like, okay, who is going along with the programming and who is trying to resist? Okay, look at all these people using VPNs and trying to use crypto and blockchain this and blockchain that. Okay, they're trying to resist our system. So we'll put them over here in this category. And then everybody else is over here in this category. So, you know, the government, they function off of the saying, if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So if you don't want to get hit by the government, you should probably not look like a nail.
Not like a nail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And so that's why I tell people, I'm like, look, you can use that stuff if you want to, but you're going to be higher on their list because they know you're using it. They know you're using it because they can tell when you're using a VPN. Yeah, like anybody who is like staunchly for VPNs, you ever try to go on a website or do something and electronically and it blocks you because you're using a VPN? That means it knows you're using a VPN. And if Comcast or something like that can know you're using a VPN, goddamn government knows too.
Yeah, that's fast.
See what I'm saying? So
well, I mean, I just said too, man. Shit, the FCC fucking was able to, to scan radio. And you're right. Okay, yeah, I am up there in age. God damn it, I'll be 50. But anyway, it's funny, like what you even said.
Mhm.
I mean, I remember when on Sesame Street, Herbie Hancock showed us how to use the voice, how to sample and use the what the fuck was it? I'm so sorry. What the hell am I thinking? How to use the computer to transform voices. If you record your voice and transform it into something totally different. So yeah. I mean, seeing that, it's like, yeah, man, and even just like I was thinking about. Actually, what I was watching today was been watching a lot about noise music, and which is one of my favorite genres, by the way, guys. And just observing how sound is created, and when I also think about sonic branding with Gina and her Dreamer Productions, and just how just thinking about that and stuff, and just getting also the ideas that I'm coming up with as well, and with content creation and things, and even as you saw with my image, like that's where I like just kind of getting my mind. I'm really my mind's really going into that place, and I'm thinking about it like in a sense of how we're able to put that out there, and the algorithm is going to pick that shit up. Like, and that's why for me, it's like the idea of doing certain things a certain way in order to create a sense of to create not mystery, but to create a stronger mystique. And because I'm thinking about like Sleep Token, and people are trying to find their identity and shit, and then it got leaked. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about that story about the band Sleep Token, but they've hit their identity. And one of the fans went online and found information on them because they went and looked for they really wanted to find out who these guys are because they've been able to maintain a strong mysterious identity
Hmm.
even on social media. And I mean, that's also been fascinating for me. Like, I've been really thinking about that. And
Well, that's a similar thing that Slipknot went through, ICP went through. A lot of bands or musicians that do try to mask their identity, they kind of go through that too. But ICP and Slipknot, that was before the internet, before the internet was the way it is now. So I could just
yeah,
imagine what it's like today. Fuck.
they were able to no, they were able to. But here's the thing: ICP was able, and Slipknot was they shed their skin because, and Corey was shed his skin because he had the side project Stone Sour.
Which is a dope
So,
project.
and that was the first band, but at the same time, that was his first band.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, 'cause his brother's in it, right?
people knew, yeah. And so people knew,
Mhm.
and even Jim Root, the guitar player
Right.
for one of the guitar players for Slipknot.
Right.
But they were able to fucking show their faces. People knew who they were already. So that was the thing where it was like, not the same as Sleep Token. Like, Sleep Token was like really trying to like hide their identity.
Oh, hardcore. Okay.
Like, they didn't want people fucking knowing them at all, and even like especially through social media,
Mhm.
like, and they've been able to pull it off. So when they found out that this person leaked their identity, they got off of social media.
Damn.
They went off social media, period. So the crazy part is that when they did that, more people were fucking like wanting to see them, like they want to listen to more music. So it's like that was another thing too, because I think they're
Mhm.
promoting the album as well. And it's so
That's what
I
happens,
mean, it
though.
worked.
It's like
Yeah.
when people want what they can't have. And so if you like, it's, I don't know if that's the Streisand effect or not. Like when like you take away something and people want it more, or whatever the situation is. But like that happens all the time. We see it all the
That
fucking
does happen
time.
periodically. Yeah, it does.
It's
It
crazy.
does.
Yeah, somebody gets
Frequent- it
canceled and they
happens
blow
frequently.
up. You know what I'm saying?
Frequently, yeah.
Somebody gets canceled and they get more popular. Stuff like that. But yeah, with that, it's like they take their stuff off and they're like, oh, let's blow up. That's insane, man. But no, like, back to your original question, like, I don't think I might have answered it in a way, but I don't think the artists should take their music off of Spotify. I think they should keep it on all the DSPs. I do think that they should release it strategically, though. Is that
Yeah.
what they should do is if they have an album, what they need to do is release that album as individual solo tracks. So if it's a 5-track album, release a new track every week and then promote that track for a week, maybe even 2 weeks, right? And then new track. And then once you have all 5 tracks out, then you repackage those 5 tracks as the EP, right? Like a couple weeks later. And so now you've taken 5 songs on an EP, and now you've been able to work the algorithm of consistent creation and release, and you work that to get approximately 2 months worth of decent organic push, as looking like you created new projects, and whenever you repackage it into the EP version after you release it, you can use the same ICRCs, and then that way the streams stay the same and everything like that. It all gets connected, but it looks like a new release because you've repackaged it under Spotify and stuff like that. It's kind of like the waterfall method, but the waterfall method is insane. I tried.
That's insane,
dude.
yeah,
I
it
tried.
is.
I looked into that, and it just it's crazy, dude. I tried doing it, and I wanted to break my fucking computer, and it wasn't even my computer's fault. It was the fucking software I was using. I was like, I fucking hate you. And yeah, no, like, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, well, why don't we just do it backwards then? Why don't you just do it in a similar way? But like, you can still put yourself out on Spotify, and you can give people, your fans, you can say, hey, if you want free downloads of my music, go to my website, free download. Now they're on your email list. And when they're on your email list, however you can get people on your email list, you tell them, hey, sign up for my email list. I give out, you'll get heads up, exclusive, first dibs listening to my new music before it comes out on any streaming platform. You'll be able to listen to my music before anybody else will. You give them free and exclusive things for being part of your newsletter, and you will be able to drive your sales and everything like that and your exclusivity to your things, and then it will still keep your Spotify up, and then you use that Spotify money to reinvest, especially whenever it's small. Whenever you're getting a couple $100 a month, if you're not making very much money, a couple $100 a month is awesome. But what you need to do the most, instead of spending that on even bills, let alone bills or bullshit, instead of spending it on bills and bullshit, what you need to do is you need to reinvest that into your marketing. And you need to grow your shit, even if it's just ads, right? Even if it's just ads or boosts or whatever, somehow, some way, put it into marketing and grow your shit. Because that 200, that could turn into 400 in 2 months. You still going $200 a month. You keep reinvesting that. Now you're getting $400 every month. Now you're getting $800.
I agree, man.
Month. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing that. You keep reinvesting it. And then once you get to where you're making substantial, then you can start pulling some of that out to pay your bills and bullshit. But you gotta still keep putting a lot of that in, and keep growing it.
Yeah.
And then you can get to the level where Nick D's at, stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to do. So like that really motivated me to get to the level where you want to get. Yeah, it really motivated me to get back into music. And it's multifaceted. Like, I'm sitting here looking like, hey, look, I can start making substantial money on my music if I do it right. And I know I can do that already before I saw Nick D shit, because I've been helping artists create their own ways to do it themselves. So I know how to do it. It's just I took myself out of trying to pursue it as a career for myself, because I didn't want to do all the other stuff within the music industry that I don't like. But he made me see, hey, look, I don't have to do it like that. And I knew I didn't have to do it like that to begin with, but I just kind of lost it. But now I feel like, hey, look, I'm going to be doing this and showing people just how easy it is to do. And so that's what I'm fucking doing, man. Like, I've been working on fucking features and hooks and everything like that every night for a week and a half straight now. And putting out putting the music together and everything like that, editing my content, everything like that. I've been working a lot harder than I have been lately. But I'm doing it, and I'm going to be able to show these artists. Dude, I didn't even tell you this, right? So I just started, it's the 4th of February when we're recording this, and I just started posting on my social media these videos, right? These short form videos of me performing my music, right? I just started posting these on the 1st of February, okay? The first post I posted on the 1st of February, this happened within only a couple of hours, but as of right now, 4 days later, the first one on TikTok has 832 views. The second one that was on the 2nd of February has 684. The one on the 3rd of February has 645. And the one today that I just posted about 10 hours ago has 651 views. So I'm getting over 600 views within the first couple of hours, and then it kind of falls off after that. But I'm getting 600 views a day on just my TikTok, just by posting a piece of video content 15 to 60 seconds long. And that's it. Like, I'm not doing anything else. And, I'm getting like around 100 or so on my Instagram, each one. And Facebook is doing halfway decent. I think I'm getting a few hundred on that one. I think the first one I had was like 500 or something. Doing pretty decent over there. My YouTube is still very low. My YouTube shorts, I'm only getting a couple views on those shorts for some reason. But I'm hitting everywhere. And even on Twitter as well, too. I've only been getting a couple of views over there. I still haven't cracked Twitter yet. But with TikTok, look, I'm getting 600 views a day right now, and I've only been doing this for 4 days. By the end of February,
Nice.
I could guarantee I'm going to be getting at least 1,000 views a day on my shit, you know? And in
Yeah.
these last 4 days, I've had what was the numbers here? It was 1 second here. I'll pull it right back up. I was looking at my analytics. My analytics are all right. So, and this only shows up until February 3rd. So February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I had 1,500 video views from 1,373 unique viewers. I got 3 shares, 5 comments, 13 likes, and 22 profile views. So that means 22 people who saw my video out of that 1,500, or out of that 1,300, 22 people saw the video, and they actually wanted to go to my profile and follow me. And then on my bio, it has the link for my website, which is where you can find all my streaming shit, stuff like that. So for every 1,300 people, I'm getting 22 people taking that next step to go to actually my profile. See what I'm saying? Right. It's a numbers game, like we were talking about in the last episode with Wendy Day and stuff like that. She was even saying that too. It's a numbers game. If you want to reach 50 fans, if you want to gain 50 fans, you have to reach out to at least 1,000 people, is what she was saying, right? Well, look, 1,300 people, and I got 22 people at least following me now. You know what I'm saying? Based off of 3 days worth of content, because this doesn't include the 4th yet. You know what I'm saying? So, like, people, it's possible. You can do this. And I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not out here creating 15 pieces of content a day and posting them on the socials. I'm doing 1 piece of content a day. And honestly, what I'm doing is I'm taking a longer form portion of content and I'm chopping it into multiple pieces and then alternating the different pieces of content. So, like, I've been posting a different song each day. And so, like, each day, I'm not promoting the same song I did the day before. I'm doing a different one and kind of mixing it up and randomizing it so that they're not getting the same piece of the song and they're not getting the same song 2 days in a row. So you're diversifying the content a little bit. And I'm just going to do this, just music only on my profile for 30 days. And I guarantee I will see substantial growth, at least on TikTok, if not everywhere else. And then what you do after that is then you start mixing in some of your interest-based stuff where you hop on and you say, like, I created a video today that I'm probably going to post in a couple of days. So the first video that I created was for my track called Black Clouds, which you heard a few weeks ago, KP. Well, the video I did for that, I said at the beginning of the video, when I did the long form video, I said, this song's about being flooded with emotion. So I came out here to a flood site, and behind me is a creek that's hella flooded because we just had a bunch of water, right? We just had a bunch of rain and everything. So the creek is hella flooded. So I'm right there and you can see this huge flooded creek behind me. Well, this was only a few days ago. And so this morning I was out and I walk along that creek every morning. Well, this morning it was down substantially from what it has been over the last few days. And so I took a video and I was like, hey, y'all, you know, if you saw my video for Black Clouds, you saw that, you know, this creek right here behind me where I shot the video, it was hella flooded. Now look at it. It's down like 5 feet down from where it was. And the sun's out and it's shiny and it was cloudy, which means that through every fucking dark, dreary day, there's a bright, sunny day that comes afterwards, right? Like I said that within under a minute, boom. Another piece of content that's real, raw, and organic, and it's not me promoting my music. Technically, it is if you look into it in a marketing language. But on the surface, it doesn't look like I am. I'm sitting here just like putting out a good message and then giving you all behind the scenes type of thing, right? Done. Yeah. Like that kind of shit. That's what I've been preaching for this whole time we've been on the podcast and a lot longer than before that. But now I'm just showing it. Because like KP, like you were saying last episode too, we're in a position where we got to show it because people are not always going to listen unless we're showing, you know? And so that's what I'm doing. That's what KP's doing as well too.
Yeah, I mean, and I know you guys are kind of wondering, like, you know, what the hell is, why am I kind of like, not trying to not showing my face as much? Because I am getting in that mindset because of the way I have been able to just meditate on, shout out to Natasha, to be able, and I bought her course, by the way, so I've been going through her course as well.
So
and So guys, check out Austere. Yes, really check out Natasha Brittle and Austere. Really cool course that I'm taking. And one thing that she said, like, is focusing on your artist identity. And I just love the way that she talks about us finding that artist, our visual artist identity. And that's, for me, I've always thought about how important that is, because I want you to think about the image that you see when I perform, when you hear the songs. There is, and the reason I'm showing that because I have a darkness, and a dark past, and I've talked about that, and
a
I
dark
haven't
ass,
talked
yeah.
about.
I had to fuck with you on that.
All right, Wonder Bread.
Exactly. I light up the night, bro. It's all good.
That's all right. I can creep up on them.
Exactly, yeah.
And then open my eyes.
I thought you were going to say
Smile.
smile.
There you go. And they're just like, oh shit! Why?
I didn't see you.
What did I do to you?
Yeah, exactly.
I've
Well,
been
actually,
really
it looked
kinda
like a
embracing
cloud
that.
floating because your mohawk's white, so it just looked like a cloud floating through the fucking room. A little
Oh,
bit.
no, yeah, with the mohawk too. Yeah, that's right. But no, man, like I've been like, and it's funny, like that's cool because like I've been really getting into I've been getting into that mindset, man. And I know people are gonna be like tripping the fuck out, but I'm like, I am angry. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that. Like and it's but it's just like I know how to now control it. And I haven't, and I'm telling you guys, like I haven't been able to sleep for a minute, but now that I've been like able to focus on my anger in the artistic fashion, I've been able to sleep a little bit better now.
That's dope, man. You gotta get that shit out.
Like, yeah. And the thing is that you guys get, I'm gonna tell y'all now, man. Get ready. Straight the fuck up. I mean it. Get ready, because Dark Lauren Shante is gonna twist your motherfucking minds. You guys have no idea, like, why. And once you do, you're gonna say, holy shit, now I get it. And sometimes that's it, guys. You gotta, it's that you gotta take yourself there. And I know I disagree with, and I heard this from Finn McKenty. He said, you don't have to be your music doesn't have to be your personality and shit. And I'm like, dude, yeah, he said that. And I'm just like, dude,
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Music is all personality.
Yeah, I just told, like, he's like, yeah, and he said some shit like that. I fucking was like, bro, okay, you just don't get it. He's like, you still can't be a shitty person. Even like Dame Ritter, like, he's like, he doesn't like when artists become like, when they show that sense of who they truly are. And he's like, nah, I want you to be a professional. And he's like, I don't like that shit. I'm just like, well, I'm like, well, sorry, dude. But, if you want the best out of that motherfucker, you just got to let them be. Exactly. If they want to smoke some fucking weed, if they want to fucking have a little bit of a drink, if they want to cover their face, if they want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if that brings out the best art in them, then you know what? Let them fucking be that. And that's the one thing I have to say to myself. Like, I have nobody controlling me. I have no one who's out there that has who has a gun to my head telling me, no, dude, you can't do that. And I don't have that in the band anymore. I don't have to deal with that shit, guys. Now, as a solo artist, I'm able to just break away from being like them, being told what not to wear, being told what not to write, because it's going to anger people.
Yeah, you're
know, and
free.
it's
You
like,
can do what you want now.
yeah, man. So I am absolutely free. And it's like, and shout out to Sean, man. He said something that was really powerful that hit me. And and it was like, dude, you know, and I must say that I haven't been able to I haven't shown that because I've locked in that whole mindset with being with Beyond Theory and my other bands. I mean, no, don't cut that out, because honestly, I think that was one with the last one, because it was that last band. It was that mindset of like not being able to, you know, being told, well, we're not down with you wearing this and we're not down with you wearing that, because I wore a skirt. I get, when I dress up, guys, when I'm on stage, man, I dress up to a point where it's like, you're going to remember
that. Yeah.
my fit. You're going to look and go, holy shit, dude. I love you. You're going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a conversational piece. Garen goddamn T.
Right.
Right. And it was just one of those things where it's like, I couldn't do that with them. It was like, I couldn't really do that. And then it was like, I did have a signature and stuff, but like, I wanted to break away. I'm always one of those people that want to like push the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't do that being in those bands. And it hurt because they're talented.
Right.
Talented musicians, man. I mean, I can't take that away from any of them, but they weren't willing to be the sore thumbs.
Mm.
And they just weren't.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but luckily we live in an age where even people in the metal sphere can, like yourself, can be 100% independent. You know, like we keep talking about Nick D. That motherfucker only has a couple of people on his team, and they're all handpicked by him. He handles most of the shit himself. He says that he's got himself, he's got his homeboy who does who helps him with the video. He's got couple producers that he works with independently or whatever, you know, and then he has a lawyer. Like he doesn't.
I got some.
He doesn't have any of the other apparatus, so he doesn't have PR and everything like that. That's him. He does all that. He just does whatever he wants, you know. And I think a lot of people, they try to build too big of a team, and sometimes that ends up fucking them over.
And I saw that with, definitely that can be detrimental. And shout out to my boy Cody Perez, man, who pretty much he created American Overdose, who's a vocalist. He was the one who also was a huge influence, and like he was like, man, you know, he can hire and fire his band. He can hire and fire band members because he created it. And then it's another artist that does the same thing, where he wrote this music and then he hires the musicians when he goes on tour.
Mm-hmm.
So there, you know, and there are definitely artists out there that's doing it their own way. And that's where, for me, it's like, yeah, man, like that's really what I want to do. I just want to be able to do things the way I want to do them within, you know, within the confines of the law, of course. But
right, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Being able to like express my art, my true artistic feelings. And like I said, like Sean said, that, you know, he doesn't see a lot. He's like, you know, he sees these guys who's like saying that they're influenced by certain artists, but then he was like, when you look at their content creation, he's like, where's that influence?
Yeah, exactly. What their music
And
is,
that's
but
what
not the
I started to
content.
feel. Right. And that's what I was feeling too. I'm like, I'm not putting out the content that I speak of within my influences that my influences have put out back in the day. I mean, because okay, they were on MTV, but guess what? Now we're able to create that vision on TikTok.
Yeah, or on
we're able to
UTV
have
now.
it on UTV.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're able to also put it on Roku television and create our own channel. And what's another one? Rumble Television and Nebula and all these other
Possibilities are endless.
places. Yeah, I mean, this video DistroVid from with DistroKid, we could put it on there. I mean, it's like now we can put out we could create that type of content and make a great living. Make the living that we want to make.
Yeah, and you can have the lifestyle that you want as well too at the same time.
Have the lifestyle that you want. Yeah.
And see, like being able to make enough money to get by and then have the lifestyle you want, that's key for most people. You know? And so so as always, take all this information that we give you. All right? You know, we put this information out here for y'all for free to try to help y'all. And as always, we say, hey, look, if you want us to work with you one-on-one, hit us up, free consultation, yada, yada. But the main reason that we're out here with this podcast is not only to showcase the knowledge that we know. And then sometimes me and him go back and forth because we have different perspectives on things. We go back and forth just trying to talk about things and trying to figure out things ourselves. You know, he'll come at me with a question because he's trying to figure out something in his own mind. I'll come at him with a question because I'm trying to figure out things in my own mind, stuff like that as well too, you know. And
right.
And you know, so there's that, but you know, the most part of it is that we're trying to put out information to help people. And so if you can take all the information that we give you on here every episode and you can use it to your advantage and you grow yourself and win, then that's awesome. I want you to do that. That's what we want. You know, whether or not you work with us one-on-one or not, obviously out of our own self-interest, we want you to work with us personally. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's plenty of people I've gotten information off of YouTube or streaming platforms, and I've never worked with them or given them a penny, you know. But I still use the information to help myself grow and get better. And we want every single one of y'all to do that as well too. So keep tuning in here. If you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, you need to go back and start watching them. Or listening. After you get done listening to this one, please go back and listen to last 5, especially. Those last 5 have been really, really on point, especially the last 3, honestly. But go back and listen to them. Make sure you listen to the short piece of content I made a week or so ago. It was, you know, a shout out to the most influential person on the planet. You guys gotta go check that out. That's a dope fucking video. KP loves that one. And but no, for real, keep tuning in here every single week, and we'll see y'all here on the next episode. All right, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Holla.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's get that beat going.
Oh yeah, that's some new music. I actually got a comment about this song the other day. I was like, yo, what's the name of that song? I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's some standard shit on Riverside.
Oh yeah, y'all know who we are, bro. We are
Powered by Riverside FM.
No, we're Music Masons Podcast.
And we are.
See y'all.